So if you are here today, it's because you need some presentation about Montpellier Business School, and you've choose the right place, because Judith and Pratmesh are going to introduce you the France, Montpellier as a city, and Montpellier Business School as a school and all the programs. So maybe you can already start by introducing yourself, Pratmesh.
So hello everyone. I hope you all are doing very well in your respective places. My name is Pratmesh and I'm a student in MSc Marketing. I'm from India and right now I'm a student ambassador for MBS.
Thank you so much. And we are now welcoming our dear Judith.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Nasira, and thank you, Pratmesh, for being here today. I know you're going to do a great presentation both.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to introduce myself. I'm Judith. I'm in charge of representing Montpellier Business School for Asian continent. My main country will be India, but I'm also in charge of all the other countries of Asia, except for China. So here, I'm also an alumni of the school. I graduated myself from the Master in Management from MBS in 2015, a few years ago. And I've been working now at admissions of Montpellier Business School for more than 3 years. I'm really happy to welcome you all. Feel free to ask if you have any questions in the chat. And Nasira, who is our representative as well, will be handling all the questions on the chat. So for you guys to know, the presentation is going to be in two parts. We're going to have a part where we're going to present with Pratmesh, who is our special guest today. And then we will have a question and answer session. The webinar will be recorded for students who wish to have the record. Please let us know and we'll be happy to give it to you. Here, I don't know if you can see it, but you have all the representatives' number, WhatsApp numbers, and the emails. I'm not sure you can see the email, but Nasira will put the email apply@montpellier-bs.com. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll be starting the presentation. Is that okay, Nasira?
Yes, it's okay. Let's go.
Let's go.
I've reached you.
Thank you. So here you can see we have a special guest from India, who is one of our ambassadors, Pratmesh, who is going to help out with the presentation today. So today we're going to cover 10 reasons to join and choose MBS. First, we're going to see why differentiating yourself by studying in France. Then we're going to see that France is a nice destination for you and it offers advantages to students. Also, you'll see why France and Montpellier as a city, which is the name of the city, is one of the best student cities that you can choose in France. We also see that Montpellier Business School, MBS, is one of the best business schools in France. You'll see also that MBS is a school with an internationally recognized academic excellence, how we help you to build a career that looks like you, why does MBS have an international environment, and who are you going to meet during this experience. Also, you're going to choose a school that guides you and helps you from A to Z with one of your dedicated representatives and our student ambassadors. Also, you'll be choosing the possibility to study in English while living in the south of France. It's possible, and you'll see how. And then to finish, we'll see how to get admission at Montpellier Business School with an entire online selection process with the possibility of free tests. So we should cover all those topics right now in approximately 25 minutes, and then we will do the question and answer session. So please feel free to use the chat. First, differentiating yourself by studying in France. So you have several reasons to choose France today. France has a very quality higher education system. So compared to, we can compare our system to the US or the UK in terms of excellence, academic excellence, and for affordable, if I can say that, tuition fees compared to some countries like I just compared. Also, France is a world-class economic power. You have top companies that have a worldwide recognition as well. And joining France will be choosing a country where, we're still developing and we have a strong economic power. Also France, you have heard about the food and the cheese, the wine and the landscapes, I'm sure. So when choosing France, you choose also a pleasant and fulfilling environment. You're not coming as a tourist, but still France is a nice destination as a tourist, but also as a student because you have a very nice environment to live and a quality of life that is excellent. French. Speak French is quite interesting for you. I know you speak English because you're listening to this presentation, but France is also in the most languages spoken around the world in business. So it's quite interesting for you to get out of your comfort zone and learn some French. For some of you, you may speak French already, and good for you. For those who don't, you will, I'm sure, and I'm confident that you will be learning, maybe not being fluent in a few months, but still understanding and doing quite well with the language. And France is also an appealing destination for international students. So here you can see that I'm with an Indian student, Pratmesh. Can you tell us why you chose France to study?
Well, France being one of the favorite destinations and loving about the French culture. The main reason why I choose France was about its quality education that France offers. It has a wide range of education, and it is very much different from the other parts of the globe, because the French education is highly adaptable. It is more of practical rather than theoretical, so which helps students to evaluate themselves practically while studying. And also the reason for choosing France is the French culture, which is like one of the best things. French wine, French cheese, and also like learning French is one of the best things that I've ever had while studying in France.
Thank you, Pratmesh. So for now, as you can see, we are not at the school. You have to know that France has been impacted by the COVID situation. So we've been doing home teletravail, how is that called? Home office, sorry. And also school online due to this pandemic. But we hope and we trust that the situation will get better soon, and that we will be able to welcome all of our international students and French students at the school. Thank you, Pratmesh. Also, when choosing France, you choose to go to a country that offers advantages to students. So you have the permit to stay up to 1 year, stay back option after you graduate to look for a job, meaning that when you come to study at MBS, you'll be under a student visa. Then you'll be, when graduating, able to stay up to 1 year and to look for a job. And once you find the job, you'll be able to have a work permit visa that is depending on the contract that you have. For Indian students, and I know we have some, it's up to 2 years because of some agreements with the government. So for other students, it's up to 1 year, and for Indian students, up to 2 years. Also for scholarship options, so you have to know that MBS offers up to 2,000 euros granted on tuition fees scholarship, depending on admissions results and availability. I will talk about the admission process. So all applicants to MBS can be considered, and then we'll be looking at the different results to you test, do an average, and then we'll be able to say if yes or no you're eligible for a scholarship up to 2,000 euros deducted from your tuition fees. Also, France has a very nice healthcare system, so we have free social security. We don't want you to be sick, of course, but if it happens that you have to go to the dentist or the doctor, you have to know that your fees will be reimbursed, which is quite an interesting advantages that you should consider when coming to France as well. And France also offers to its students, French or international, wherever you're from, as long as you have the student status, a financial housing allowance called CAF, that is between 80 to 150 euros deducted from your rent. So if your rent is 500 euros, you can get up to 150 euros deducted from your rent. So this is part of what you can establish in your budget. Also, when choosing France, you have to choose a city. And what we will say to students is to choose a city that is smaller than Paris. We know that some of you may come from your capital of the country and you are used to big cities and you like the dynamism and all. We also like it, but we recommend our students to go to human-sized city, to student cities. So we have several in the country, of course. We will recommend Montpellier, but you have some like Rennes, Toulouse, Lyon, Grenoble. I mean, you have many other cities. But Paris is nice, of course, as a tourist. But in terms of integration, we believe that for you guys to feel comfortable, feel like home and comfy, and feel like you matter, if I can say that, choosing Montpellier is a nice choice. So Montpellier is the third best cities for students in France. In terms of quality of life, we are #1. We have very nice sun, and we are the 7th largest city in France. Of course, this is not some capitals or some cities that you may know in your country, but here you'll see that it's really human size. Please note that this is not a village, okay? We are 3 hours from Barcelona in Spain, so you get the chance to discover the country of Spain as well. We are 3 hours from Paris by train, an hour from London. We are very centered in the European continent. And Montpellier is also a very young city. We have approximately 1/4 people that are students, and 1 out of 7 is an international student. So it's very common to walk in the streets and to see students from different places. Of course, right now we've been locked down for a month now, so we didn't see many people in the streets. But usually Montpellier is very lively, and I love Montpellier, not just because I work for the school, but really I enjoy this city, and I think it's a really nice city for an international student or a student in general. When I was a student, I really enjoyed myself in the streets of Montpellier. You have many things to do. And Pratmesh, I hope you'll be able to come soon to Montpellier, because right now you're in your country. But I hope you will be able to experience soon Montpellier and its beauty. In terms of cost of living, Montpellier is up to 40% cheaper than Paris. Approximately, Paris should be 1,200 euros. So Montpellier is approximately 700 euros. Like I said, you have the healthcare that is free in France, wherever you go, of course, not just Montpellier Business School. And also you have the financial housing allowance up to 150 euros that you should deduct from your accommodation. Also, when you choose MBS, you choose to study in one of the best business schools in France. So you have to know that in France, we have approximately 200 business schools and more. Some are creating, some are dying, if I can say that. And only 39 are what we call Grande École. So Grande École, for those who don't know, in French, it means big school in English. So Montpellier Business School is part of the most prestigious top schools in France, and that gives you the stay back option. So in terms of topics, you will be studying several topics like quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative such as accounting, finance, controlling management, and qualitative like marketing, human resources. So for students who never studied business, it's okay. You'll be able to cope with it, and we'll be able to help you with the topics. And for those who studied this before, it's an opportunity for you to go deeper in those topics. Pratmesh, can you tell us about some courses that you started since you already started your course? What do you like about them?
So yes, Judith, as my background is from engineering, I'm more of a technical person earlier, but after that I choose marketing as my field, because marketing is something like every industry requirement, every industry requires marketing. So for now, I've studied about the advanced strategic marketing, global management, and some courses which are really helping me out in my soft skills presentation, and which really guide me like how to analyze this things or a product in marketing in order to advertise or to reach out in public. So the courses in the school are very much well defined, that it actually enables to brainstorm yourself that how you need to work on the topics or projects in order to have the good results. So yes, the school really backs us at every step in terms of research, in terms of development, or our personal development as well.
Thank you, Pratmesh. So when you choose MBS, you also choose a school with an international recognized academic excellence. So Montpellier Business School, and I forgot to put the crown here, but Montpellier Business School has a triple crown. So crown, what is it? The accreditations, it's like the stars in the hospitality industry. Here you have some organization called ACSB, IMBA, and EQUIS, and you can check it out, that come to evaluate a system or professors or courses. We have a strong audit of a few months that go really long, actually, to give us some accreditations and to make sure that we respect all the criteria that we have to respect. So this means that we have a very high academic excellence, and this makes our school enter in the very close club of best business schools of the world. So with the triple crown, so ACSB, like I said, IMBA, and EQUIS. We are part of the 1% of best business schools worldwide to have that triple accreditation. Also, you can see that we are what we call CGE, Conférence des Grandes Écoles, which is like a conference that also gives that comes to evaluate also our programs, and also give this stay back option that I mentioned before for the master's program. And then we have the master management and some programs that are ranked at a national and international scale. Also at MBS, you choose to build a career that looks like you, because of course our job here is to help you find the right program, but not just to enjoy yourself and follow some courses like this, but to prepare for your career, because the main goal of a job is not just to have fun in France, is also to prepare you for the professional world. So how are we going to prepare you? Through workshops, interview simulation, one-to-one meetings, orientation session, soft skills like Pratmesh said, like leadership, communication, creativity. You will also see that we have strong relationship with companies, with conferences, internship. Our board of corporate directors are strongly involved in the school strategy, meaning that our courses are designed to make sure that this matches with what the professional world is looking for. Because if we are like 2 decades before, it's not really relevant that we train our managers. Also, you'll see that you will have relevant academic projects, such as a lot of group works, entrepreneurial project, consulting, business games, serious games, Strat Me Up, which is a consulting project. Pratmesh, I think you started the Strat Me Up project. Can you tell us about this?
Yes, 2 weeks before I started my Strat Me Up project, which is very interesting, as during your studies, I get to know about how the company actually manages to do their work, or how what kind of challenges that they face during the time. So having such kind of experience before your internship or jobs really help to build the character that you need to have during the job, which is actually looking at the problems of the company and how to resolve them on their own or with the group, and what are the points that you need to look upon while doing such kind of projects. So Strat Me Up is, I think, is a very unique way to understand about the company, or to build a leadership among the team, so that in future, if someone plans to be to be at the good managerial area, he needs to be a good leader. So this kind of projects really build your character, as well as they tell you more about that, about how you need to work with the company, and what kind of things that one needs to look upon. It's not just about the company, but as well as about the environment, because both the things go hand in hand. So we cannot just look about one factor, but several other factors. For that, you need a lot of things to know. So yes, I would say that Strat Me Up is very good for as a student, being working with the company and knowing about their goals, their achievements that they had in past, and it really helps to build the one of the profile that I wanted to have.
Thank you, Pratmesh. Yes, the programs in each program that you will have, you'll see that we have a lot of group works, not that because we don't want to grade individually, but because in the professional world, you'll be working in teams all the time with people you don't like, maybe, and some people from different countries, etc., etc. I will keep going. Also, by choosing MBS, you choose a career, but also to join a network of alumni. I'm one of them, and Nasira as well, as she studied the executive MBA. So we are part of a big family that organizes several conferences and events. Also, when you choose MBS, you choose a school with an international and diverse environment. I mentioned that Montpellier, the city, which is the name of the city actually, Montpellier, has a lot of international students inside the city, not just MBS, but you also see that MBS has many international students. So we have a very strong international atmosphere. Here you can see some pictures of Colombian students, Indian students during Diwali festival, and the Week of International Students as well. So the school is human size, approximately 3,000 students, and 1/3 is coming from abroad. Abroad meaning not France. So we have approximately 70 nationalities, and 1 out of 7 students is international in the city of Montpellier. Pratmesh, can you tell me which country, where do people come from in your class, for instance, the people you've met so far?
Yes, I've met them, but they are from very different countries. Sometimes I do forget that as well. So the people I've met they're from Sweden, Indonesia, China, Lebanon, Morocco, Sweden, Brazil, Austria, Norway. So it's an endless list. Like I can talk about for 4 minutes on this thing, because there are a lot of people in my from different countries, even from Italy. Yes, it's an endless list.
Okay, thank you, Pratmesh. Okay. And what did you learn about all those international students so far?
currently I've not been able to like properly meet them, but over the chat or the conferences that we have, I got to know about their languages, their culture, that what kind of activities do they perform. Also have some sessions regarding their food as well, which was very good to know that I'll be able to taste a lot of different food from various countries. So yes, I'm just hoping to meet them very soon.
Sure, me too, because I'll be inviting to you food day.
Yeah.
I want to come in to have a taste of each country. Fantastic. Also, when you choose MBS, you choose a school that guides you and help you from A to Z. So our job as representative with Nasira and some other people from the team will be to help you and guide you through the entire process. So we'll be here you see us, and maybe you spoke with us on WhatsApp or by email or whatever the way you used. So first of all, we'll be helping you define your professional project. Maybe you're interested in a business school, but you don't really know why. So here the idea is to understand why you are interested and which program you can apply to. Then we'll be helping you to apply through the platform, and we will have a webinar the next month about how to apply, how to maximize your chances for admission. So stay connected with coaching for the test and interview. Then you will have another team helping you after you get admission, and we hope you will, and you choose to come to France, to support for visa obtention and housing. And you will also have a orientation seminar of 3 weeks to help you understand. You will have some French session. You will have some sessions about how it works to be in France, like specific workshops like how to open a bank account and how to handle your life, school life, but also personal life in France. So during the entire process, you will never be alone. Pratmesh, have you started your French courses already?
Yes, I've been learning French from last 3-4 months, and I'm doing quite very well.
Do you have some words to say to us?
Oui, j'adore la eating. I'm not so fluent, but yes, I'm learning.
You're improving.
Yeah. So probably I'm just lacking a bit of grammar, but really capturing the vocabulary very well.
Good, fantastic. I'll be checking on you in a few months to see how it's going. It's true that the French language can be challenging for some students who don't speak French, of course, and it's part of the fun. When coming to France, you also learn French, even if you study in English. Like I said here, you can study in English while living in the south of France. So we have several programs. Undergraduate program, we have one program, and then we have the master's program. So first, we have the bachelor program, Bachelor of International Business Administration, in 3 years in English or French, which is after high school. In France, our bachelor degree are usually 3 years. Then you have the Master in Management, which is a 2-year program, and this is a program I graduated from, in English or French. Then you have the MSc program with the possibility of to specialize, and Pratmesh will be talking about the program that he knows in the Master of Science, as he also has some friends in the other programs. So first, we have the Bachelor, then Master in Management or Master of Science with the possibility of pre-MSc, and I will talk about that in a few minutes. So the Bachelor program, first, it's a 3-year program in English or French. Here I put the English option because, well, it's a webinar in English, but if you're interested in the French version, let us know. It's 100% in English with 2 foreign languages. You have 1.5 years at Montpellier Business School studying all the disciplines of management related to international business administration. And then you have the rest of the 1.5 years where you can either stay in Montpellier Business School or do an internship, an entrepreneurial project, or you can go abroad as an international student, studying abroad as an exchange student. Then the last year, you have several possibilities, either to continue with the program or do what we call the apprenticeship track, which is 3 weeks in the company, 1 week at MBS. It can be actually a professional experience where the company will be paying the tuition fees. Careful, here the year is entirely in French, so you will need to be fluent in French with the B2 level minimum. And for students who wish to go abroad as exchange students, it can happen that some of our international students want to come to France, then to go as an exchange student, maybe in the UK or the US or Canada or Germany, Italy, I don't know. And this is something possible in the program the last year. For instance, when I graduated from the Master in Management a few years ago, I got the chance to do an exchange program in the US. What's interesting here is that you pay the tuition fees of France, meaning of MBS. And I will here show you the tuition fees. Tuition fees for each year is 11,000 a year. So first year, 11,000, then second year, and last year, 11,000, even if you go to a country where it's supposed to be more expensive, like the US or the UK or whatever the country you have in mind. Usually fees are more expensive, but you'll still be paying the fees upfront, which is quite interesting. So 3-year program, 1.5 years general. Second year, you can, the rest of the year and a half, you can do a professional experience or do the possibility of doing internship or exchange abroad. So it's like a menu in a restaurant. Other possibilities in the bachelor program, here it's a 3-year program as well. So 1.5 years at Montpellier Business School, same as before. And then you have the possibility to go abroad. Here it's mandatory to go abroad. So it's part of the program and it's called the Global Track. You have either the UK track, Latin America track, Europe track or Asia track. So here you do 18 months at Montpellier Business School and the other 18 months in one of our partners' university abroad. So here you won't be able to choose the university that you want. For instance, you pick this one. No, you will have to be one of our partners' university, and we have up to 150, I think, if I'm not wrong. So you should have still options that are available to you. For tuition fees, 11,000 a year for the 2 first years, and the last year, 12,000. And to finish, we have the double degree 2+2. Here it's a 4-year program compared to the other programs that were 3 years. So you have 2 years at MBS, 11,000 a year, and it's the same as the English track. And then you have 2 other years abroad where you can do a double degree either with one of our partners' university at Laval in Canada or in the US with Alliant International University. For tuition fees, 11,000 the 2 first years and 13,000 the 2 last years. Please note that for that kind of exchange program or double degree, we have limited spaces, but this is still available for international students. You still have to comply with all the admission requirements of a school and of the school you're going to. So if they require the GMAT for this school, you will still have to take the GMAT anyway. So here you can see that this is quite an interesting option. I mean, if you check the tuition fees of those schools, you'll see that this is not 13,000 euros a year. Usually it's way much. For questions regarding the bachelor, please feel free to write in the chat. Then we have the Master in Management, which is a 2-year program. First year will be general, and the second year you can either choose the apprenticeship that I mentioned before, and here French is mandatory. You have to have at least a B2 level. Why? Because all the courses are in French, and you have to work in a company while studying in France. So speaking French will be still a plus and a must. Or you have the possibility to do a double degree with one of our partners' university as an exchange student, or do a Master of Science inside our school. So that will be a double degree for you. You'll see that in this program, the Master in Management, the first year will be general for students who wish to develop and understand what is management in general. Maybe you've never studied business and you're not sure, you're not ready to go into a Master of Science in finance or marketing or whatever. And you want a first year that is quite solid and with general assignments. And then the second year, you can specialize. You can notice here during the entire 2-year program that you will have professional experience mandatory. For tuition fees, 13,000 euros a year. So first year and then second year. And then I will finish with the Master of Science, which is for 4-year bachelor here after you got that bachelor. So you have a program from September to June. You'll be in class with 3 weeks of integration, then courses and specialization. You have several fields like finance, marketing, digital transformation, business excellence, and international business. And I will let Pratmesh talk about this in a bit. For the entire program, you'll have some group works for all the programs, entrepreneurial project where you have to learn how to write a business plan, a marketing project, which is called MarkStrat, where you have to help a company with its strategic marketing. Then you have another project, like Pratmesh said, about the Strat Me Up, which is more like a consulting project. And you have a lot of group works during the year. I think Pratmesh can confirm that he started some group works already through Teams, because so far it's not on campus yet, but it will come soon where he will get to meet the students. Also, you have the possibility to follow French courses. This is not mandatory, but strongly recommended. And you will have to start the thesis, the big assignment where you have to write an individual paper. Okay. Then we have the 3-year bachelor. So for students with the 3-year bachelor, they will be able to do the Master of Science, but first they'll be eligible for pre-MSc, a fast track from June to August on site with 250 hours. So that will be intense. And then after that, they will be able to join the MSc like the students before. So the difference here is that because they have a 3-year bachelor and not 4 years, they still have to complete a 3-month track that is a quite fast track, pre-MSc, and quite intensive, but this is a way to manage to get into the MSc program after that. So for this program, it's the same, pre-MSc plus the MSc, and it's 18,900 euros for the entire program, intake in June online. So here you can see all the programs that we have. Pratmesh, do you want to talk about the programs that you know already in finance, in Master of Science, sorry?
Yes, right now I have a lot of friends. I've made a lot of friends in the Montpellier Business School, so I really know about the Master of Science in Business Excellence, Master of Science in International Business, and the one I'm doing, which is Master of Science in Marketing. So let me start with the Master of Science in Marketing, which is basically about the marketing, as you guys know with the name. So Master of Science in Marketing gives you specialization on the field of advanced marketing, French luxury and management marketing, hospitality and tourism marketing. So which is actually about the different fields that that you can do, in which you have interest. For example, like I have a very much I'm very much influenced with the fashion brands and all. So I have pursued the luxury management, which gives me a diverse phenomena about how do these multinational brands of the fashion and or the automobile works, what kind of scope they have. All right, and based on that, the different streams are well maintained in this particular field. Whereas if I talk about the international business is mainly for like if you don't have right now any idea in which field you want to like pursue, or you want to have your job or internship. So international business is best for you guys, as it will tell you more about supply chain management, international human resource, finance as well, and marketing too. So international business cover up 4 different fields, having good knowledge, so that at the end you can really decide where your passion lies. And if I talk about the business excellence, today the e-commerce industry is on its boom. Everything is online, be it food, be it like booking your train ticket or airline ticket, or getting clothes from Amazon or anywhere, or buying any stuff. Everything is like online. And so business excellence helps you in the e-commerce industry, which is mainly in lean operation management, and the supply chain management is all about the logistics that the big companies offer, which can be through cargo or through shipping.
Thank you, Pratmesh. I see that you really analyzed the 3 programs. So I'm really happy I don't have to do it. So then we have 2 other programs, so the finance and the digital transformation. I think you mentioned still a bit. So the one in finance is for students who wish to, who are comfortable with numbers and who wish to go deeper into finance. So for students who already studied finance, please consult us so we can discuss what kind of project you have, so we can guide you better. Maybe it's good for you to go in another Master of Finance after the Bachelor in Finance or other programs. And then we also have some students who never studied finance and who are maybe interested in doing this. Please note that this is something that we can consider. We suggest that you contact us and we can discuss directly your project. The one in marketing, Pratmesh already mentioned. The one in digital transformation is about how to use the digital tool to improve a company. For instance, we put in a CRM, a system to improve better the revenue of a company, for instance, or the visibility. So, for instance, a hotel that just uses Excel to have all the data of the company, we will put maybe a CRM system to have all the data of the company, and the person will be in charge of managing all of this. Also, we will have some specialists of data science, big data, and artificial intelligence. Here, please note that this is not an engineering school, so we're not training you to be programmers. This is in an engineering school that you do that. We will be training some managers who are able to manage this type of project, and who will be working with the programmers, for instance, and make sure that everything goes right. Then the business excellence, Pratmesh mentioned it. This is about the operational excellence of a company to make sure that everything goes fine and arrives from point A to point B for supply chain. And in operation management is how to avoid waste and go in a very agile way, meaning that we don't want to have too many processes, but we really want to go in a fast movement. and the international business is the quite general program. Please note that we will be available, the representative, to help you with all the programs, to guide you better. Some students ask us if they are able to apply to several programs. Yes, you are, but we prefer to have some students who are focused and know that they want to apply to this program, which is our job also to help you with this. So I'll be finishing with the entire online selection process with the possibility of free tests. So for the Bachelor and Master in Management, you see that all the process is online, like the MSc. First of all, you will have the application documents with higher degree, either the baccalaureate or something equivalent to for high school, or the bachelor degree if you already finished. Then the official transcript, the 3 last years, please compile them on a PDF and let us know if you need help. For the English test, let us know if if you took the TOEFL or the IELTS or the TOEIC, we'll take it if it's less than 2 years. Otherwise, you will have to take the English test even if you're from an English-speaking country. It's okay. It's part of the admission process. So first, application documents, then online test, reasoning and analytical skills. If you don't have the GMAT or the GRE, you can take our free test online. It's 45 questions and approximately 2 hours to take it. Then you have the English test online and it's free instead of taking, for instance, the TOEFL, IELTS, TOEIC if you don't have it. And then you have the interview, which is like a pre-recorded video interview. Pratmesh, did you do this interview pre-recorded or was it with the jury? Pratmesh?
Sorry?
Okay, I was talking about the interview. Did you do the pre-recorded interview or was it like a live interview that you did?
It was a pre-recorded interview that I had after getting off from the Montpellier Business School, which was quite very easy. They talked very general questions about that why I choose the school and what are my like career aspects. Regarding these, mainly the questions were, and what are my future plans. So yes, I was very well with the interview.
Okay, that's why you're here. Okay, good. Then we have the MSc, the Master of Science. So same process here. You have the application documents with the documents that we need to upload online. And then you have to take the English test online. Here, it's not mandatory if you come from a country where English is the official language. And then you have the interview pre-recorded, like I said, with Pratmesh. It's a link that you're going to receive by email. You're going to have to take it. You won't have a live jury in front of you like you have right now, but you will have some questions popping up on your screen about yourself. If you ask your friends about you, what would they say? Why choosing MBS? Why do you think you're a good candidate? What makes you, do you have a decision that you regret? I mean, a lot of questions about yourself. Please note that the interview is the test that weighs the most in your total. So if you wish to maximize your chances for admission and a partial scholarship, please note that this interview you have to rock it, but we'll be here to help you. For the test, the English and the reasoning test, we'll have some presentation as well of the test. So email us at apply2. Nasira is going to put the email if not done yet, and let us know if you have any questions. Note for our special guest today who attended the webinar and are interested to apply, we have a free application fee waiver, for this season until end of January. So if you apply today or if you apply January 15 or until January 31st, we have a special gift for you for Christmas and the Happy New Year season, which is the application fee waiver. So for students who attended this webinar and who are interested in this application fee waiver, you just have to write down the MBS 1897 AFW. Nasira, if you can put that in the chat, write that down. You can email us and say that you're thinking about applying or you're applying right now and you wish to have your fee waived because you attended this webinar with the code. This is a secret code, so please don't talk about this, but if you talk about this, well, the students will have to come to us anyway to email as well. Like I said, the offer is valid until end of January. So this is a Christmas and Happy New Year present. And this is applicable for Bachelor, Master in Management and MSc programs. So feel free to email us at apply2 to activate that application fee waiver. Then we have a specific game that Nasira is going to share for the students who are interested in the MSc and not sure about what kind of MSc they would like to do. Nasira, if you can share the link for students who wish to maybe see with the game which MSc could match who they are, please play the game on the link. She'll be sharing on the chat. And on our side, we don't have anything else to add. Here you have all our information, the email as well, apply to @montpellier-bs.com. Like I said, you have a dedicated representative. Nasira, who is with me in the chat, is in charge of the African and Middle East zones of the world. I'm in charge of Asia, except for China. Then we have Seng, who is in charge of China, and Joseph, who is in charge of Europe and Americas. Let us know if you have any questions, and please email us if you have anything else that you would like to add. We are now at the question and answer part. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Judith. Thank you so much, Pratmesh, because it was really a lovely presentation, and with, very, I love the way Pratmesh talked about the school. I think that everyone could, see and appreciate, your answers, and see that you love your school and you love the current experience. We can't wait to have you in Montpellier. So we have a lot of questions on the chat, and I'm just going to wait until everyone write them down. But to begin with, we have already Mania. I believe that you've missed the part of the presentation for the bachelor. So maybe, Judith, could you please repeat, the requirement for the admission for the bachelor program, please? And
Sure.
Mania, as I told you, maybe you can write us to apply to Montpellier Business School. I shared the address just a few minutes before, and we will explain your representative will give you all details on the bachelor. Okay? So,
Okay.
Judith, please, for the requirements. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, Mania. Welcome to this webinar. You have the recording if you need it, and please email us to have this recorded. I don't know how to say it in English, actually. So first of all, for the Bachelor and Master in Management, you have the application document to upload on the platform. We will share the link on the chat as well. I don't have it here. So you have you need to upload the baccalaureate or the high school degree, or your higher degree, actually. Then your transcript of the 3 last year of studies. So if you are right now in your last year of high school, we need your transcript for the 3 last years, or maybe the year you are currently enrolled, you don't have transcripts, so the 2 last years at least, and then we'll be asking for the other one. Then you'll be taking a test online, reasoning and analytical skills. If you don't have the GMAT or GRE, then you'll be taking an English test online wherever you're from, despite your country. We will ask all our candidates to take it. And then you have the interview video recording. Please email us as well if you need to have the presentation of each test, the reasoning and English test online. Like I said, we will have next month a special webinar again about how to maximize your chances to get admission at MBS. So we'll be explaining how the platform works to make an application successful, and then how to succeed all your tests, meaning the reasoning, English, and interview video recording. And like I said before, if you've missed it, we have a special offer until end of January. If you apply before the end of January, we give this specific code to students who attended our webinar and who will email us for more questions. Here's the code. It's MBS 1897, the date of creation of the school, AFW for application fee waiver. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Judith, and thank you for this offer. It was a big surprise, I guess, for all our students today. So we have some questions about the housing benefit. If you can just explain, more in detail to the students, because I think this is a huge information when we have to talk about financing your stay in a country.
Thank you. So for the budget for Montpellier, which is a student city and it's less expensive than Paris, which is the capital, you will have approximately, to count, 700 euros each month. Please note that in France, we have some advantages for students that are offered, French or international, like the free social security. And also we have, like I said, the housing allowance called the CAF, C-A-F. We will help you apply anyway with our team to make sure that you benefit from it. So for all the students, wherever they're from, you will benefit from it. So for an accommodation that is, for instance, a studio that costs 500 euros, you can get between 80 to 150 euros deducted from your rent. For instance, if you have a room that you're sharing, where you're sharing a flat, an apartment, you will have a financial help of 80 euros. So it depends on the type of housing you have. If it's a room, because you're sharing the flat, you have less help, but you still have, it's 80 euros because the rent is less expensive. If you're by yourself, you can get up to 150 euros deducted directly from your rent.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for explaining this. We have a lot of questions. For example, do you require minimum IB score? For example, somebody coming from the high school, how a student can know that he's, he can apply for the bachelor? If you can just...
Sure. Hi to all Ivy School students and high school students. We know it's a lot of information that you have right now about all the schools, and you may be lost. This is what we hear as well. So we look at your transcripts. Of course, we don't have a minimum except that you need to pass your each year. So if you didn't pass the year, unfortunately, we cannot take it. And if you don't have your baccalaureate, you cannot come either. But if you passed each year, you are already considered as eligible, if I can say that. But then to maximize your admission, you will need to do well to the international admission process, meaning the English test, also the reasoning test and the interview. Like I said before, the interview will be the test that is that needs the higher score because it's the one that weighs the most in your final average grade. So I would suggest that you maximize your chances by doing great to all the tests. For instance, if you have like a average grade in high school but you still passed, you can be considered. But I would suggest that if you want to be admitted and get a scholarship, that you do really well to our tests internally. So no minimum score except passing.
Okay, so we have some students who are, in their final year, so they just are thinking about, shall I wait until next year to apply, or do they have to apply by now? I have
someone in the last year of high school, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. No, I mean, you don't have to wait. If you're sure about your project, we'll be happy to help you. Admissions are open now, December 16 until end of June. So the earlier, the better for you, because then you can prepare well for the baccalaureate that you have to take. So I would say that the earlier, the better, but we understand that you already have some other, you have some other schools that you may be considering. So you're trying to weigh the pros and cons for each school. This is what we hear as well. You have the holidays right now to think of the schools you wish to go. But you can apply now because it's open. I would not suggest that you wait until end of June because honestly, end of June, then you have 3 months to do your visa procedure. Everyone wants to do the visa procedures in June or July. So the earlier, the better, I think. But it's up to you, and we're here to help you make your decision as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Judith. So now we are going to another, questions regarding English. I have a lot of questions for people saying, well, I've been living in a country where I was only speaking English. I was studying in English for the last 3 years. Do I still need to take the exam or the English test?
So it depends on the program. So for no, it doesn't depend on the program actually. If it's for the bachelor or master in management program, wherever you're from, whatever your nationality, if you come from a country or you studied abroad, etc., we are happy that you do well in English, but you still have to take the English test. No worries about the English test. You will receive a presentation of the test. It's a free test, so it's not like the IELTS, the TOEIC and TOEFL, sorry. And it will be 25 minutes with the writing, speaking, listening, understanding skills. So, I mean, if you studied already abroad and that you're comfortable with English, you shouldn't even be worried about this part of English test because you'll do well. So no worries about this, but this is still a mandatory step for the bachelor and master in management anyway. Then for the master of science, if you are from, your nationality, you're from a country where English is the main language or official language, you don't need to take this test. However, if you're from, from a country where English is not the official language, but you live right now or study in a English-speaking country, this still doesn't count. We know it's the rule, the admission rule, so you still have to take the English test. But like I said, it's a 25 minutes test. You can take it home with your screen, and if you're comfortable, like you said, in English, it shouldn't be a problem anyway. We trust you'll do good and get a C2 level.
Thank you. Thank you. So I have some more questions about the logical and reasoning tests. Some of the students have prepared for the GMAT. They just, they know now that MSc doesn't require any GMAT, but still, do they need to send us the score? And do we have a minimal score for the Master in Management program? And what if they have to take the logical and reasoning test for Montpellier Business School? How do we help to prepare these tests? So it's many questions.
I see a lot of questions, and I'm happy to see some strong interest. So indeed, for the Master in Management, we require a logical reasoning test, which can be either the GMAT, the GRE, or our internal test if you don't want to take the GRE or GMAT. And for the MSc, we don't require an English reasoning and logical test. So here the question is not even to be asked, and Nasira confirmed it. So for the Master in Management, if you already took or if you're about to take it in a few weeks or days or a month, the GMAT or the GRE, please submit your score if you're happy with it. We will be happy to take it anyway, because you took it and it doesn't have to be for nothing. So we'll take it. We don't require a minimum score. However, we have a grid, meaning that if you get this type of score, you get this type of grade. So, I mean, the GMAT, I think it's out of 800. So if you get like 700, which is a really good score, you can get a really high grade. However, if you get like 200 out of 800 in a grade, it won't be that good. I mean, it will depend, and I think you should discuss it with us, one of your representatives dedicated. Seeing the score, we might suggest you to take a reasoning and logical test, because I think it could be easier, if I can say that, for you, and less intense, because it's not, sorry. I put an alarm. So the English, the reasoning test will be, I think it's easier for you, and it won't take 4 hours like the GMAT. It will take 2 hours maximum. So if you're fast, and it's a good thing. How to prepare? So we'll have, like I said, a webinar to help you prepare for this test. But here I'll give you some tips. You'll see that during the process of admission, you will get a link to take the reasoning test, and you have to you will be able to enjoy the practice test first with 15 questions to understand better the test. We can also send you a presentation of the test by email, and Nasira already put the email, but if it's lost in the conversation, I'll ask her to put it again and to ask for the presentation of the test. And you'll see that it's in different parts: reasoning, logical, numerical, analytical, etc. And it's quite like a baby GMAT, if I can say that. So if you're already preparing for the GMAT, you should be already prepared for the logical test anyway. If you have any questions, feel free to write us directly, and we'll be happy to send you the presentation so that you can see how it looks like. You will see some games with words, like if I say fire, you should say this. I mean, it's your brain will enjoy it anyway. No worries.
Okay, thank you. So I have more questions about somebody who has a 3-year bachelor degree with some experience. Do he still have to do the pre-Master of Science, or can he using his experience apply to a MSc?
Yeah, good question. Unfortunately, you will still have to take the pre-MSc. The pre-MSc, so it's for students with a 3-year bachelor who wish to do a Master of Science after that. It's 3 months, 2 months online and 1 month on site. We understand you might not want to do it, but this is mandatory. Actually, I talked about the accreditations before, and this is one of those accreditations, and also the CGE, Conference des Grandes Écoles, who is giving the stay back options and all those advantages that that says it's mandatory. So we have to comply with those requirements. So students will still have to do this pre-MSc, even if they have like 10, 15 years of experience, unfortunately, or fortunately for you. I mean, it's a good chance to learn and make sure that you're ready to get in the MSc.
Okay, and we have a specific questions about a student who is asking, well, do they need any background when they come to apply to, for example, for MSc in Digital Management or for MSc in Data Science? I will say, for example, for someone who has a humanities background, for example, is it possible to apply to this kind of MSc?
Sure. I will also let Pratmesh introduce his background because he spoke earlier about his background. But yeah, all backgrounds are welcome. This is our job also to guide you into the right background. I mean, if you let us know that you're not comfortable with numbers but wish to apply to finance program, we won't understand. And I think the admission committee either. But however, if you show some strong interest, even if you come from a nursery or humanities degree, but you show that you are interested in that type of program, this is something we can consider anyway. So here, our job is also to help you to choose the right program to apply and help you that you match all the requirements. Pratmesh, can you tell us why you applied to the marketing, even if you mentioned that before, coming from an engineering degree?
Yes, thank you, Judith. I initially did my engineering in basically material science. But after that, I choose marketing as my career field because I was very much passionate about the marketing as well. I used to study marketing during my engineering as well. While during my internship, I was given projects related to marketing. So it was my mentors who supported me through this decision, as well as having my own interest as well. So before applying for a field, one should really know that where their interest lies and what they want to do. Because if you don't have any interest and you're still applying for the field which you think is very much good, I think that is not a good step. So ideally, I'll say that first one need to look inside themselves that which field are they really interested in. Because without any interest, you cannot go for any field, be it finance, marketing, or business excellence. So interest is the main criteria for choosing a field. So even if that you are from humanities and you want to do something which is not related to humanities, you can actually do, because it's all about the studies that make you get connected. I'm not the person really wants to was which course, like from humanities too? Hello?
Oh, hello, yes.
Yeah. So he was going from humanities to which course?
He's having some problems with the connection.
I think, yes, I think Pratmesh has having a problem with his connections. Pratmesh, can you hear us?
Yes, now I can hear you. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, as I was talking, for pursuing any course, the background is not really important unless you have interest. With any background, one can do any degree, whichever they want to. But the main reason is you need to have the proper knowledge about that field before pursuing that particular field.
Okay, thank you so much, Pratmesh. I will ask the last question because we are, now at the end of this presentation, and I just keep, the unique question for the end about the student housing. Do we have any housing or any, rooms on the campus, and how do we help the students to arrive in France and settle in Montpellier?
Sure. Thank you for this question. Right now, it's true that it's still early to project yourself into Montpellier, but it's a nice question. So in France, usually the school are compared to some other countries. We don't have on-campus housing like some other countries maybe, but we have some partnership with residences. So we have, like I said, a dedicated team who will be helping you with the visa, the housing search. We will not be giving you this housing, so you will still have to look for it by yourself. But we have a platform where we provide several options for housing. Some students will do flat sharing, some will go from private residences, some state residences. So it's up to you. It's also part of why it's important for you to anticipate, meaning that for an admission in September, which is our case, we suggest that by May you're already settled, meaning that if you come here and it happens sometimes, which is okay, end of June, they arrive and they want to apply and etc. We'll still tell them that the visa procedure can take up to 3 months, etc. So I think it's still better for you to apply the earlier the better. So between January till April, May, I think it's a nice season to apply to make sure that then in terms of housing, you still have nice options. I mean, less expensive as well, because Montpellier is a nice city. We have a lot of students from France, but also abroad that come and are looking for the same type of housing, meaning cheap, but in a nice location. So if you're interested in that type of housing with our platforms and all, I suggest that you start your application before and finish your application before May to have the best options you can have.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Judith. Thank you so much, Pratmesh, for all this explanation, for this useful, presentation and lovely presentation of Montpellier Business School and all programs. I guess we answered, most of your questions, and I guess that you have more, and I tried to answer on the chat. However, as I wrote down, you can write us directly to apply to Montpellier Business School, and we will answer and guide you and put you in contact with your representative. Don't forget to use your application fee waiver. You will be the first to use it, so don't forget to use it before the end of January. And if you are applying to a Master of Science, test yourself, and do the quiz score. I'll put all the information on the chat. Let me wish you, a very, lovely end of the year to share with your beloved ones. And we really hope that we will remain in contact so that we can guide you and welcome you next year in Montpellier. Okay. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much, Judith.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Pratmesh, and thank you, Nasira, for hosting this webinar. Very happy to be here. Please note that the school will be closed for holiday season from this Friday until beginning of January. So don't worry if you don't hear from us. This is normal because the school is closed, and we will be far from WhatsApp, Webex, Zoom, and all the softwares because we need sometimes also alone with our family. So enjoy yourself. Think of us as well, but think about your project. But we'll be back beginning of January. Take care, and thank you so much. Merci.
Merci.
Merci. Bye-bye.